encourage it. You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Ah, come on with the dramatics. It's not
Sorry,
as bad as all that.
The face, Furious. She bit me in the face.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
Ugly will be the least of it. The beast looks rabid.
In that case, you'll have the pleasure of putting her down yourself.
I wish for you to try it, Screech woman. So you have a brain by a Betting's question curls her lips and aged an air of aptitude.
Hey, Tull, I think that was an insult.
Don't pay attention to the beast, Furious. You'll only encourage it.
About face! To the barracks! Notch! Recruits!
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Ah, come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
The face, Furious. She bit me in the face.
Source Hunter, I know you're probably knee-deep in that awful murder investigation. We've been conducting a series of expeditions into undead. Lieutenant Selenia, at your service. I'm Captain Aureus' second-in-command. But now, I certainly don't mind a bit of healthy and that is exactly what your presence in Sicil is, Source Hunter. A gift and a blessing. I shall be very glad to share what information I can give you. It's very sweet of you that you are trying to get these men a job. Sure, they can tie a knot and blow a whistle like the best of them. But even with a sword in their hands, they wouldn't stand a chance against the undead. If ever we want to be victorious in Sicil, we have to track down the route. 3 landmarks were chosen for further investigation. The lighthouse, the burial mounds, and the old church. There's a lighthouse to the west, up on the bluffs, overlooking the sea. No man has got... The locals say it's haunted, and half a dozen legionnaires have gone to find out whether or not... There are ancient burial grounds to be found north of the city. A local archaeologist offered to tag along with the men. There's a church to the northeast of here, built atop the very place where once stood a temple. All superstitious mumbo-jumbo, if you ask me. But when the dead rose, that is when they were first spotted. So I did. The Pact of Volunteers. Many legionnaires will do whatever it takes to... The chances of survival during these sorties are only about 1 in 10, you see. So my soldiers are free to volunteer, and if they are successful, they just bought themselves a boat ride home.
It's heating up. I'm overheating here.
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become. only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
Will never make it inside these walls. Excellent. Let's keep it that way.
That rooster thinks he's such hot stuff.
Well, what's this I've spotted?
Dancing dugongs, you nearly startled me out of my boots. Well, you've got my attention, comrade.
I give milk. I give wool. And what do I get in return? What?
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously, someone has taken great...
You can't insult what's not alive to be offended. I say we dig. I'll not only dig up this grave, but bury you inside it too.
All right, we'll do... As you prepare to break...
You can't disturb what isn't alive. Get to digging. I'm growing tired of arguing, and you won't like me when I'm tired.
All right, well,
You plunge your...
Unbearable!
place this book here. A volume of poetry among Turjageta, friend. Yes. Have you given him that?
Library.
Dancing dugongs, you nearly startled me.
So, what's the bad news? Like I said, how do you... Ah, the ledger, is it? Fool was I to leave it in the open. Or perhaps I even looked for... Ask 1,000 times if you like. I'd rather risk a flight to...
I know we left now at the undead. It's sure if 3 landmark that all that. Divines doubly bless you, friend.
Joking. I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Ah, come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
Get to shiny
The face, Furious.
Sorry, sir.
She bit me in the face.
Look.
Ah, the source. Whom would you have the Legion arrest?
No, it's the actual killer we're looking for, not an intermediary. Let's not lose focus. Come. You know how setting a person free gives me a little thrill. Naughty, naughty.
No, we'll do as I said.
Shame to arrest a man who buried so many legionnaires. I'm stuck fast. Fate is an ice-cold mistress.
Nowhere is safe from my arrows! Marksman's poise.
Stand strong, strike harder.
You notice something being slipped into your hand.
Saw you steal. No biggie.
The rogue keeps his eyes fixed on yours. He's expecting an answer. Walgraf seems to be shocked, but then comforted by that last reply. You can tell he's seeing things in a new...
What do you think you're doing? That's enough of that now! You, again. Do feel free to depart from Sicil at your earliest convenience. You, again. Ah, the Source Hunter. Oh, joyous hour. Ah, the Source Hunter. Oh, joyous hour. Whom would you have the Legion arrest? Oh, what now?
The face, Virius! She bit me in the face!
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
Ugly'll be the least of it. The beast looks rabid.
Oh, I could do with a cold drink. Feeling hot under the collar? I've spotted something interesting.
I give milk.
The earth here seems to have been...
And a disgrace to whomever is...
You step away.
Moo! Don't do...
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull... Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered. But no matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual... Me? Why, it was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. A simple pinch of Atropa belladonna. Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for herself. Yes. If that's how... She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration. She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats. She claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silverglen by name, and that an abbot... Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly... Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an... I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the... Sorry, but there isn't much work for sailors in a house of medicine. Certainly, what would you like to know? The counsellor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were, from what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. I've applied myself to that problem for... I declare it an act of the Almighty's.
Healing stone. Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
Cares to plead for his very existence?
That relic of Evelyn's, the so-called healing crystal. I've seen one like it before, and by the Patriarch's pockets. It's one look at that gem will be enough to convince me it's no force of good, but a bloodstone through and through. I've come across such a stone before. It may be capable of healing, as the bloodstone is so named for a reason, you see. If that stone is what I suspect, I wouldn't trust Cecil's so-called healers any more than I'd trust a pyro...
So, which of you is more deserving of life? Make your case.
Soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far.
So, which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case.
Those men are long for this world.
So, which of you is more deserving of life? Excuse me, this is a private sick room. Who in the name... I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I? I to meddle with? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing! But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation. But perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Sure. What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite the venerable staple of Syceal, Stephen, and recently blessed with his third grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and nearly everyone in Syceal is familiar with grinning Stephen. And, as you can imagine, yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. He is of a certain faith. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain. Is that so? Well, I handled the corpse myself, indeed, but I hardly knew the man in. I arrived at the inn, where the body lay just where it had fallen. The injuries were like nothing I'd ever seen. As I personally delivered the corpse the short distance to the mortician's house. As far as You are?
There's no way Boris should receive that stone over Stephen. Think of Stephen's wife, his children, his grandchildren. Imagine the joy on his wife's face, his children's faces when Stephen returns to them. Isn't that a scene you'd like to see?
Can't have gotten far.
No, we'll do as I say.
Boris it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone.
Thank God say I didn't want to live. I wanted it with every fibre of my heart. Not just for my own sake, but for my family, you know. Oh, my Matilda. What'll my sweet Matilda... Enjoy what remains of your life, will you?
I'm feeling stronger already. 1,000 thanks to you. What will I do? What won't I do? Seeing how short life can be. And after I've climbed every mountain in Rivellon and smooched every girl who'll have me, I'll devote myself. I'll see you around. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm beyond grateful. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm beyond grateful. Sorry, friend. I wish there were enough stones for both of us.
A tone soothing a corpse's troubled mind.
I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm beyond
You that!
grateful.
Cut it out!
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter?
Sorry, friend. I wish there were enough stones for both of us.
Certainly. What would you like to know? The Councillor, from what I can tell, I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter.
Only herring, delicious dogfish. Yours for a scrap of gold each.
Praise be. What do you have?
Here for your daily serving of veggie.
Dearest customer, I've never seen an aura so plagued by ether. Thank Astarte, I've just the earth scroll to ground you.
Made a big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Aaron and his many friends as the man with many cheeses.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Not in the mood for cheese. Their skins is more whole than a slice of this fine woman there.
Soaking spray!
It never rains, but it pours, eh?
Source hunters, eh? All right. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved. Sorry, can't help you there. Haven't got enough livestock left to warrant a hand with the work. That louse! Did he even bother grilling a single luscious chop? Source hunters, eh? If you've got a favourite sheep, throwing that hog in the grinder can hardly make up for the loss of my sweet, succulent hogget. But I admit, it softens the sting a bit. I'll buy myself a new lamb and have a... I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Wish I could have a nibble on my dear darlings, all ground and spiced.
How lovely to see you again, haver of the beautifully shaped shoulders. I'm a painter by trade, as you... I travel around and the Vale.
I'm straight. I'm true. Arrows by the dozens.
I wouldn't want to ruin this particular batch of party elixir too.
I need to blow this one open.
tomatoes.
You! Hypocrites and traitors! I thought source hunters were supposed to help the people, not lure them into crime and punishment.
Heavenly herring!
I feel now.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Oh no, noble friend. Your upper chakras are in desperate need of a good scrubbing. Fortunately for you, my homebrewed tinctures will do the job. Or if you're in the mood for something a bit more electrifying...
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Don't talk to, can't you see? And him all those naysayers in the past. We'll inject some vim into your routine.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens. Not the mood for cheese.
Fresh haddock. Perfect for fire.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Fresh haddock. Perfect for fire.
You're a source hunter.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the
Well, tuck my tail and call me Bessie. A 2 feet old me and my brother Bull have dragged. Speaking of Bull, you ought to say hello to him.
I'm seeing a tooth. I'm Bull, the leading clairvoyant.
Of course, most winsome Toothy. Why, yes, most wealthy indeed. But,
Well, that depends, 2 feet. That depends. I see.
Size sail, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
You see, the gold and silver planets in square aspect suggest a struggle within.
Good on you. These bossmen respect you.
The signs are untold. Tell me, have you felt the cold dismay?
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
You call to Walgraf. He awaits your queries.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtius, proud protector. This is a storing house for Legion supplies. Curtius is...
Bringing your little orcish girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
Nonsense. Listen. She's purring, darling.
What fool would trust a 2-bit love potion out of a back-page circular from youthful gore?
Two-bit indeed. Not even a skeptic like you can deny that she loves me.
An orc in love? Ha! When this little charm fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
One day, Moira.
Come
One day
now.
you'll show 'em all.
Enough doom and...
Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my...
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile. But my prejudice...
Maybe before the great orc raid we had time to indulge Ninius's idiotic obsessions. But now...
Excuse my friend's violent outbursts. He hasn't enjoyed...
Your woman's touch is less of a loving caress and more of a claw shank...
My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this... Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword and instead adroitly fling my pouch of trinkets towards her. A vial of love potion shattered over her head. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army.
I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat.
Ah, I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only.
You see what a fool my friend has been. Spending all his cash on snake.
What kind of monster would love...
You see? He'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me...
One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all.
What's the point in causing more pain in this beleaguered city? Question her and see what comes of it. Don't you want to see whether or not this experiment proves successful? A real working love potion. Think of the possibilities.
No, we'll do as I said.
Glad to hear I'm not the only one with
No! She's... You bastard! You had no right!
No right to protect not only you from your own stupidity, but myself and the citizens of Sicile as well.
It's you we need protection from, murderer. Fortunately, the Wizards of Youthful Gore make a revenge elixir that will show you what's what.
Go ahead and throw your sugar water on me if you like. Your foolishness is no longer my problem. Thank you, stranger. If you ever need help, I'll do my best to repay you.
A man in love with an orc? Bloomin' bullfrogs, is he blind, stupid, or both? It's a good thing you advised his friend to run the savage through. Do you pair really believe an orc's heart knows no tenderness, no warmth? I suppose I could, perhaps, adjust that opinion if ever I met an orc who wouldn't say...
Thank you for talking some sense into that knuckle.
Well, a source hunter. A very hearty... This Jake business, then again, but I imagine... Oh, it's an unparalleled...
One day, Moira. One day you'll show.
Report!
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks.
Halt! These gates are to remain closed at all times. Well, I'll be a little red imp's uncle, the source hunter.
Sorry for the gruff treat. You can see security's tighter than ever around here since that surprise attack the Orcs put on. We can only hope to hold back the undead and these left field... You don't look like you're quite ready to head out into the wilds to me. You may have the right number of champions in your party, yet in experience, I think you're lacking. Of course, the choice is yours, but are you... I certainly hope you know what you're...
I should have done this from the
Look
very
alive,
start.
my good man. This gate'll be short work for a well-equipped contingent of orcs.
The Sicilians retreated from this battle, but what about the Orcs?
Either they've taken to the sea, or set up an encampment in yonder caves. Keep your weapon at the ready.
Oh, hello! What have we here? An adventurer, I judge, by the world-weary look of your weapon. Have a look by all means. You look like just the sort of self-starter to appreciate what I mean. Weapons, 4 of them, that the intrepid adventurer can improve and upgrade as he travels if he finds the right pieces. See them? See them? Judge for yourself. Goodbye then, good friend.
Those bony brutes will never make it inside these walls.
Warm as dragon's breath.
Good luck out there,
Excellent.
Hunter.
Let's keep it
Evil
that way.
lurks beyond Sicil's
I'd
ramparts.
prefer to drown my sorrows with ale.
Once my arrow tastes blood, it craves more!
dances in shadows.
The Sicilians retreated from this battle, but what about the orcs?
Either they've taken to the sea or set up an encampment in yonder caves. Keep your weapon at the ready.
In any case, has been so many wonderful artifacts I've found. So many. Have a look by all means. You look like just the sort of self-starter to appreciate what I mean. Weapons, 4 of them, that the intrepid adventurer... Goodbye then, good friend. Goodbye. That is, unless you fancy a glance at some of my wonderful goods.
dearest customer, I've never seen an aura so plagued by ether. Thank Astarte, I've just the earth scroll to ground you.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Quite down the market, it seems.
On the moon for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this pie. Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses. Made a big cheese on your book with a wheel of the good stuff. Made a big cheese on your book with a wheel of the good stuff.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Quite down the market, it seems.
Any takers?
Oh no, noble friend. Your upper chakras are in desperate need of a good scrubbing. Fortunately for you, my homebrewed tinctures will do the job. Or if you're in the mood for something a bit more electrifying, what...
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap gold each.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this pie. Any takers? Come on, you chickens.
Fresh haddock, perfect for a fry-up.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
this particular batch of party elixir with too much wormwood. know it's here somewhere. I wouldn't want to ruin this particular batch of party elixir.
Ready to advance, ready to defend.
I'll need to unlock this somehow.
Soon enough that her little part would hardly make her worthy of such grave responsibilities.
We'll have none of that, you hear?
Appears to be locked.
Those bony brutes will never make it inside these walls. Excellent! Let's keep it that way. Good luck out there, Hunter. Evil lurks beyond Syseal's ramparts.
I'm drenched!
target dances in shadows.
I feel like I've just had a long bath in a cold lake.
Silence awaits you.
I must focus.
Silence awaits you.
You're like a gorilla in a porcelain store.
See the white light? I'm dying!
This is the end! For you! What venom churns within me?
I need that.
Once my arrow tastes blood, it craves more!
The unending darkness.
On the menu.
This must be part of the expedition Lieutenant Selenia was talking about.
Not much we can do for these sad souls. But where are the others? You were right there.